Mike Patrick, legendary ESPN play-by-play voice, dies at 80. Cause of death and final words revealed. April 23rd, 2025. Mike Patrick, the iconic voice behind some of college football's most unforgettable moments and a cornerstone of ESPN's golden era, has died at the age of 80. He passed away peacefully on the morning of April 23rd, 2025, at his home in Virginia. His family confirmed the cause of death as complications from congestive heart failure, a condition he had been privately battling for several years. In his final moments, surrounded by loved ones, Patrick reportedly looked toward a framed photo of a packed college football stadium and said, "Make every game count. Somebody's dream is on that field." His final words are being remembered as a fitting farewell from a man who brought energy, dignity, and authenticity to every broadcast he touched. A soundtrack to generations of sports fans. Mike Patrick wasn't just a broadcaster. He was the guy you heard on autumn Saturdays when legends were made and rivalries ran deep. From his unmistakable voice on ESPN college football primetime to his high-stakes calls during Sunday night NFL, Patrick's presence in the booth was synonymous with big games and bigger moments. He spent more than 35 years with ESPN, where he called an estimated 1,000-plus games, including some of the most iconic matchups in college football, women's basketball, and the NFL. His voice was part of sports history, a trusted narrator to the moments that defined teams, players, and fans alike. Career milestones. Patrick joined ESPN in 1982, just 3 years after the network launched. Over the following decades, he became one of its most recognizable and respected figures. Some of his career highlights include calling ESPN's first-ever Sunday Night Football game in 1987, a 20-year run as the voice of college football primetime, broadcasting multiple NCAA women's Final Fours, working legendary bowl games like the Peach Bowl and Outback Bowl, collaborating with analyst greats like Joe Theismann, Todd Blackledge, and Holly Rowe. His calls were known for clarity, excitement, and emotional control. Never about himself, always about the game. A gentleman behind the mic. Mike Patrick was revered not just for his work on the air, but for the kindness and professionalism he showed off it. Former sideline reporter Holly Rowe described him as a mentor, a gentleman, and a friend. He lifted everyone around him. Whether it was a Heisman winner or a walk-on, he made them sound like heroes, she said. ESPN anchor Rhys Davis called him the voice of my youth, adding, "You felt safe when Mike was calling a game. You knew it mattered." He also mentored a generation of younger broadcasters, often giving notes and encouragement to interns, producers, and on-air talent. Health struggles and final days. Though Patrick retired from ESPN in 2018, few knew he was privately dealing with chronic heart issues, including congestive heart failure, over the last several years. He limited his public appearances but remained active behind the scenes, watching games religiously and sending notes to former colleagues. In recent months, as his condition worsened, he spent most of his time at home with his wife, Janet, 2 children, and grandchildren. He continued watching games from his living room, complete with color-coded notes, commentary sheets, and even an old headset he kept nearby for fun. According to his wife, his final words came after watching a highlight reel of college spring games. He smiled, looked toward a stadium photo on the wall, and said, "Make every game count. Somebody's dream is on that field." She held his hand as he peacefully passed minutes later. Tributes from across the sports world. As news of his death broke, tributes came pouring in from athletes, coaches, and broadcasters. Kirk Herbstreit. Mike was the gold standard for play-by-play. His voice is stitched into the fabric of college football history. He was a pro, honest, fair, always had time for a handshake and a thoughtful question. I owe much of my career to Mike's mentorship. This is a heartbreaking loss. He called my first big college game. It meant everything. He brought magic to the moment. Even ESPN's current NFL broadcast team paused their Wednesday coverage to reflect on Patrick's legacy, showing clips from some of his most memorable calls. A broadcast style that endured. Patrick's voice was commanding but never overbearing. He never made himself the center of attention, instead channeling his excitement through the drama unfolding on the field. He once told a journalism class, "I'm not here to talk at you. I'm here to talk with you." Like a fan in the front row who's just lucky enough to have a mic. This simple philosophy made him relatable to millions of viewers across decades. Life after the booth. Post-retirement, Patrick continued to impact the sports world through guest lectures, media ethics panels, and broadcast mentorship. He also partnered with several universities to offer scholarships for young broadcasters. In 2020, he and his wife launched the Mike and Janet Patrick Foundation for Sports Media, aimed at helping underrepresented students break into the industry. He was also inducted into the College Football Hall of Fame in 2021. Farewell and funeral. Per his wishes, Mike Patrick's funeral will be private, attended by close family and longtime ESPN colleagues. A public memorial is being planned by ESPN at its Bristol, Connecticut campus in early May, with a virtual tribute open to fans around the world. In lieu of flowers, the family has asked for donations to the Mike Patrick Scholarship Fund, which will support aspiring broadcasters from small-town backgrounds, just like his. Final whistle. Mike Patrick leaves behind not just a legacy of excellence, but of empathy. He called the game yes. But more importantly, he honored the people playing it. His voice was trusted, timeless, and unforgettable. And now, his final words live on as a message to players, fans, and storytellers alike. Make every game count. Somebody's dream is on that field. Rest in peace, Mike. You made every call count.